Welcome to Wealthy Mind, where we talk about all things finances, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the surprising.
Welcome to Wealthy Mind. I am your host, Misty Rose Gold, International Success Coach. And here at Wealthy Mind, we love to make sure that you create and maintain a wealthy mind. So today I have with me Megan De La Rosa. Hello, Megan.
Hi.
Hey, pretty girl.
Hey.
For those of you in the Denver community, if you've met Megan, you know that she's pretty, she's awesome, and she has an incredible community that she's created. So please tell our audience, what is the name of your business?
So I own Centennial City Lifestyle Magazine. So it's
Mm.
yeah, such I know it took me a couple of days to get that into my mind, the Centennial City Lifestyle. So it's fun. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, I can now that I've, had it for a year, but it's the pretty Centennial magazine.
Yes, I love that. So, uh, what does your magazine do?
What does it do? Well,
Yeah.
so we are, I mean, behind it all, it does a lot of things. Where one is that we are a luxury publication. So we are mailed to the more affluent homes. It is target marketing, but we're mailed to the more affluent homes. So any homes, 700,000 to 6 million, but we're also mailed to businesses. So 500 business, it could be doctors, dentists. We're also left at local coffee shops, but the whole power of it is, yes, it's branding where we are putting and connecting and bridging businesses and the readers and the affluent readers too. And by
Mm.
doing that, we're creating community. And that's kind of where the strong point when you're saying community, I'm like, yep, it's a community publication. And it's definitely, I don't know, it's my baby.
Yes, and I can tell how passionate you are about it and how much you love it.
It's definitely my calling. It's to see how the community connects and to see everybody in action and get to know different things and like the trustworthy businesses because it is something where we're not for everybody. And that's what I say, but we do have like the networking groups too, but it is where our goal is to really showcase the best of the businesses and the trustworthy and build that go-to magazine for Centennial.
That's incredible and a much needed service, I think.
It really is. And we do it. We do it with themes. We do it with stories. It's not just full of ads. It really is editorials that are based on local, where we could talk about recipes. We can, to highlight the business and make them look, I mean, make them the expert and provide value.
I like that. So, what got you into the magazine business?
So, funny story. I actually was in title, I was a title rep. So, title insurance, whining and dining realtors, and literally was teaching them. I created a class, community concierge, because title companies are more for when you need a list and to send out postcards. And it was where, not every realtor can, they'd come to me saying like zip codes. You don't have $100,000 to spend a month. You don't have $6,000, you have to be in front of, you have to do target marketing for once, but you also have to be really a part of your community, utilizing the businesses. And sometimes realtors and lenders don't listen, believe it or not. And so I'm like, I'll show you. And I dove into my community. I became social committee and HOA coach mom. And I really fell out of love with the title insurance. As far as like the networking, it was just realtors and lenders. And my eyes kind of opened, and I literally was looking for whatever I could be. I studied for my PC license. I got my SIE, any license, maybe I could do insurance, maybe I could do nonprofit. I literally would like pray and like I didn't know what to do. And so I was just on LinkedIn and I saw that they were hiring, knew somebody that knew somebody. for a publisher in Castle Rock, and just kind of saw somebody that was launching one in Aurora and just was like, what is this? And he showed it to me and I'm like, oh my God, this is pretty, And so I was just kind of helping out and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is what do I do? For
Mhm.
free, obviously. And then it was where I just really loved to connect with people. And one of the other publishers was like, hey, what are you doing? Like, come and talk to corporate. And you and I were talking about it where it's like, I did never have owned my own business. I've never done anything like that. So I was like, sure, you know what? Let's just see what happens. And yeah, that's kind of how I stumbled in. They had Centennial available. I grew up in Centennial, and was excited about it.
And here you are living out your calling, which is awesome.
It is. It's definitely, I mean, there's never a dull day, being a publisher.
And a business owner and a
And a
mom.
business owner and a mom. I think I am addicted and thriving on it.
Yes.
Yes, it makes me feel alive.
Yes. Because it's new every day. Like that's one of the enjoyments that I get out of being a business owner is no 2 days are the same.
They're not. And it isn't where, like sometimes you like to look at your schedule, like, oh, here's another, but you get to meet so many people that every business owner has, I mean, they have that fear and they also have, I'd say every business part owner has a determination, but it is where you have the same common goal is that you want to get in front of people and you want to connect and you
Mhm.
want to see what you can build. And I mean, it is where I think it's huge. So you get to like see different types of businesses, different types of people.
Mhm.
And then besides that, when you're meeting with the businesses, you have the actual magazine to take care of. So it's just, a bunch like, does it look pretty? Is this editorial in? Has this person got back about pictures? And so it's never a dull moment.
That's awesome. And yes, we have challenges. Yes, I
Yes,
understand that the sentiment is loaded with all the challenges and all the amazing stuff and everything in between.
exactly. It's one foot. That's what you have to just say, one foot in front of the other. That's all we have to do. And, you
Mhm.
know, see what lesson we can learn today.
Yep. It's what is the step today? Let's focus on that. The
Yes,
end.
exactly. I
Awesome,
love
girl.
it.
Well, let's dive into a really fun and amazing, juicy topic. So, business owners and listeners, if they're both awesome, but if some of our business or if some of our listeners are not business owners, you'll still benefit from this. So, direct and indirect ROI from using your beautiful services and paying for advertising in Centennial City Lifestyle Magazine. Ooh, I did it. Haha.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See, it,
So
it becomes easier.
let's start with direct ROI.
So direct ROI. So
Mhm.
that is the one question across every business owner's mind. Like, what do we get out of there? And again, Centennial City Lifestyle, we're not industry exclusive, but we're limited. So when I say that, you can have all these different industries from realtors, and I said that wrong, realtors, all the way to flooring people, but you can also have dentist in there. You can also, like have different ones. So it is like when I talk to somebody about price ticket. Let's say a realtor is focusing in Centennial City Lifestyle. We have two right now. And as I said, where you're like, you have to be a part of the community, they're
Mhm.
showcasing their brand, they're changing up their ad. You have to look at one house deal. So yeah, I do say we have different ad sizes and they can go anywhere from $500 is the littlest, a couple hundred is what I'm supposed to say, to all the way up to like an inside double cover that could be like 3,000, So I tell people your firstborn child and I don't take any children anymore. But it is more or less where it's like, okay, so if you're doing that, let's just say you're going to, I should get a calculator out and I should know these numbers like the back of my hand. We'll just say you do a full page ad for 12 months, you're looking at spending 18 grand, a
Okay.
whole year. And so that $18,000, anywhere 18 to $20,000, let's just see, and to be honest, where it's like, hey, somebody's not going to see an ad right away and want to buy. a house. The same thing with Florida. It took me about 2 months to decide on painters, and I went through three. Like it is a constant where you're in front of them. It takes me longer. It takes me a longer than 2 months to schedule a dentist appointment if I don't make it in. You're constantly on it. But let's just say that one house for sale. Right there, it pays for that plus some more. So that commission of it, you can get back because you make 3.2% plus those referrals. Same thing where if we're talking about hairdressers, like my stylist, where you're like, okay, so extensions. I always have to, I know we could talk numbers all day where it's like, hey, you're spending on your extensions. I don't know, we'll just say like it could be, $1,500 or $500, like, and you get an ad that can be, $1,400. You get somebody in there that constant, like their first one is like $1,000 to get the extensions and buy the hair. Cool. Like how much do you make out of it? Plus every upkeep it is 6 to 8
Right.
weeks. You're coming back. Well, I don't know about you, but when you get your hair done, have you ever not rate? I mean, well, we won't say that if you had a bad stylist, but it's like you tell all your friends. Am I right? You tell your girlfriends, you're like, you have to use this. You have to tell them. So right there, it's obviously like two people that are referring them. So there could be direct ROI, how it is too. I know that I do get the question a lot as well, which kind of leads into indirect ROI. But I know, and sorry if I'm jumping around.
It's all good, girl.
Breathe, Megan.
It's all good. No, I'm letting you go because you're touching on direct ROI and indirect ROI,
Indirect
right?
or where it is where you can look at it, where I kind of tell people where with branding and everything. So I can't guarantee, and I tell this all the time, that somebody is going to say, hey, I saw you in the Centennial City Lifestyle Magazine. Because the point of us is we're not a coupon magazine. I really encourage my partners to stay away from 25% off or, whatever it is, because it is something where since we're mailed to the more affluent homes, we are, I wouldn't say we because I'm not my reader, but one day manifest that. But it is where it's like they don't really 25% off of what. So either way, it's indirect or okay, so they're looking at it. I said, don't really mention, coupons. And so with that, people see it. We are mailed to more educated, or not more educated, but educated people. They are CEOs, they run businesses, they're community, they're, very professional, where they are going to do their research. So they're going to go to Google. They're going to see a fancy ad, whether it be for cabinets or it could be for fitness, and they're going to research. They're going to go to your Instagram. They're going to see kind of and do their own research, and then they're going to put their phone down. And they're going to get that phone call from somewhere else, a meeting, whatever. Fast forward, it's going to continue where it's that subliminal marketing that we're talking about. Or they'll be at Milano's Coffee with a friend and say they pick up the magazine and they're also going to say, hey, I know this person, call them. So it's really going to be where they're going to forget. They're going to obviously choose, hey, my friend told me about you rather than I saw you in the magazine, So it is where it's building a brand. And I think in the end, it's more of indirect ROI too, is because when you're known, like you can get those instant. I know a lot of business owners want it. They want that instant sell. They
Of
want
course they
that
do.
instant walk in, but it is where you are creating your brand. Your brand is supposed to be bigger than, like it's supposed to be making feel welcome. So you cannot create it off of that one-time person that comes in and out. Like again, it's up to you to have that. But it is where people want to talk about you. You want to create that word of mouth. You want to create like where our magazine, it validates, where I even have people where they didn't like, wow, I'm glad that I saw you in the magazine again. Like that is so great, is because we are trustworthy too. So I think that there's a lot of indirect ROI that comes for it, where we are branding for a reason. And that indirect ROI helps bring the brand up too.
So I want to touch on a couple of points just from my perspective of some of the indirect ROI for this type of marketing,
Please
because
do.
it's so important for business owners to understand, like, putting money out into marketing dollars is not turning on a faucet. It's brand awareness. So you have to have like 10 to 12 touch points with a person these days before they will even consider trusting you. So if you can get your customer or client to trust you, that's a part of brand awareness. That's a part of your indirect ROI. It's okay, wait, I've seen your name in a million different places. Okay, awesome. Maybe I'll try you out because I need your services right now. So there's this misconception with business owners that are 5 years and younger. Usually that's about the sweet spot is that they start learning their lesson at about 5 years of saying, oh, guess what? Maybe I should think about marketing different. Like they get pissed off at people because, oh, I gave a bunch of money to this person and I didn't get anything back. There was no customers coming in. There was no ROI. And I'm like, well, you're looking at it wrong. So with social media, that is an expense, but it's not to turn the faucet on. It's a part of that brand awareness. It's a part of building trust with the community. So my social media guy focuses heavily on LinkedIn because I'm nurturing the community in Denver, the business community. So that's the direct focus for me. And I told him from the get-go, because I understand this, I said, I'm not expecting the posts that you put out for me to turn into clients, but it's going to give my prospective clients something to look at, and they're going to see those posts, and it's going to add to the experience.
Gonna stay relevant. And I, even with the title industry, where when I would tell realtors, like, you're not Zillow, like people will see it, you're building your brand. So it's there, you're staying relevant in front of your sphere, in front of your friends, in front of everybody, where it's constantly there. Like you cannot, and I mean, yes, we love social media, you either love it or hate it. And unfortunately, you're gonna have to hate to love it. Like but you're gonna need it, and that is staying relevant. Like being able to connect with one is your sphere as well as that, because we do meta ads like Centennial City Lifestyle. They do have meta ads, they have blogging, they have everything. It's just for me, I'm like, what are you going to use? Like we have all the bells and whistles, but what are you going to use and what can I help you with? So you're not overspending and stuff with SEO, with certain things, because it is where you're right. Like people like, oh, I'm going to pour all my stuff into meta ads and work on this, and it's like, you don't stop there. Like do not stop there. That's just touch points. It's where
Mhm.
you want to literally, you're gonna have to go knock on doors, and not like you can, but you're gonna go have to shake hands and kiss the babies. Like
Right.
it's connecting, where it's, you can't just expect the Instagram and Facebook to do it. Because right now, I mean, I can personally say, just because I make really poor decisions when it comes to impulse buying on Instagram, um, that Instagram and Facebook are not the most trusted websites at all. And in fact, like I have to be smarter and take my own lessons, because you're not going to buy some tanning drops that are going to make you tan. Yes, true story. But it is where, it's building the trust where people want to know. Like I know that we know how the meta ads work, where you pay for it. Someone Google's will take a painter, because I just recently came across this. All of a sudden, every paint company is popping up, and you're competing with all of those. And me as a consumer, I'm like, I'm overloaded with this. Like, what's different? I've never heard of these people, and I'm in the business industry just as you are, the home service, where
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, what's going on? Is it the Joe Smo that just started the business, that hasn't just picked up a paintbrush, or what is it? They're great at reels? Are they great at painting? Stuff like that. Where like with our meta ads, we have it branded to Centennial City Lifestyle in that, but it can be overwhelming. And I think that purchases, and again, like I said, I do take my own lessons. I just make really poor ones. Also Amazon buying too, I love that, but
Yes,
I'm
Amazon's amazing.
reckless when it comes to that. But it is where you do really want to build the trust. No one is going to purchase from it. Like nobody wants to feel used. Nobody wants to feel taken advantage of. And it is where you want to trust somebody. And when you're making these high-end purchases, like buying a house or replacing your flooring or installing your cabinets, you want it to be with someone you can trust and doesn't pressure you into it. And
Yes.
that's huge, where I really want to, I have built that brand awareness with Centennial City Lifestyle, because I have branded my partners like, these people are trusted. Like these are the people that I mean, it, that you want to like see succeed and you want them to do it, you know, and so it is where Centennial is starting to see it where they forget you're driving so much from A to B, you forget that there is stuff like there's the local business owners too that wants the same as you do and to
Yes.
connect.
So do you vet the business owners that want to use your magazine to market their business?
I do. And so when I vet them, here's the thing where when I first started, and it's where you want, I mean, I was like, hey, believe in me, this is going to be great. But it is also where we're not, one is we're not a cheap magazine. Like is that bad to say? Yeah. I'm like trying to
Own
sell
it.
that cheap or it's like,
Own
we
it.
aren't, yeah, we're told we're a little more expensive than those. Again, like I said, we're not a coupon magazine, and so it is where we're mailed to it. We have that certain branding. So if I was to go prospect, and this is kind of where I joined some of the networking groups that I did, where the people that cannot afford the ads, you know, it's where they don't realize the power of marketing and they don't realize the power of community and what they're investing in. And it is okay, that's great. You know, come to one of my networking events, love to see you, but I'm not going to go on Nextdoor to prospect. So discount marketing gets you discount clients. Same thing with discount prospecting. Discount prospecting would get me discount partners. And you can see it where there are some amazing people that I've met on Instagram, like, because that is straight to the business owners. But it is also where I have, like, do I make mistakes?
Of
Yes, you
course. Of
know,
course.
and
We
you
all
do.
do.
But I had one person where it was in for a month and you can tell, you know, a bill wasn't paid and I'm like, you know, Googling it, like what's going, this was like my first issue. And I'm like, oh, it's a review. And so right away to corporate, it's like, hey, pull them, you know, like it just stinks. And I mean, it had to deal with, animal cruelty, but you know, like
Mm.
it's, yeah, we won't go too much into it, but it's
Yeah,
like,
let's not.
but it's like where my reputation is very fresh and it is where it's built and I do not, unfortunately, like sometimes there are going to be those bad experiences with somebody or what
Mhm.
personalities might not jive, but at the
Sure.
same time, it's like the people that you can tell where the people that get it and want to connect are the people that are in the magazine.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So just quick recap, you guys. This is a high-end publication, and Megan is amazing with vetting her people, making sure that she's not sending out some trashy business owners to these great people that have the affluent homes that she mentioned. And she has amazing networking events available. I've been to a few of her events, and if you want to be in the room of about 50, 60 people, maybe a little less, like maybe a little more, depending on the event, you should just have coffee with Megan to, even if it's virtual coffee, like have virtual coffee or in-person coffee, sit down and get to know her because it's truly all about, are we able to genuinely connect with people or are we going into it for an exchange, a financial exchange? Yes, we all love money, or we should, but
Hopefully.
we love money, but I lead with connection. I lead with authenticity, as does Megan. So it's a little bit slower approach, but it's a much more sustainable approach to continuing to build her business and anyone that wants to build their business. So I want everybody to think about marketing big picture. If you do not have the money to do at least 6 months to a year of marketing with Megan's magazine, don't bother. Just don't, because it's going to take that long for her readers to get used to your brand and to check you out. And if you have a storefront brick and mortar, go in and taste it and feel it and touch it and smell it, right? So if you're looking for the faucets to turn on after 3 months, you probably should go somewhere else.
And that's, I 1,000% agree. I mean, there are different scenarios like restaurants, you know, because I think that when we're talking about ROI, it's hard to gauge. And that's kind of with the indirect too, where I
Mhm.
love restaurants and that's what helped me start doing, you know, my networking events too, because again, everybody has certain power, or it's like points where they, like really need to help in, like whether restaurants, it's not just the meal that makes it. Yeah, you can get people through the door, but it's also events too. And so with restaurants, to gauge traction, like saying, okay, somebody came in and mentioned they saw us in the magazine, and so I did feel that restaurants struggled with seeing the actual ROI until it
Mm.
was like, okay, well, let me show you the power of this magazine where this one little logo, because restaurants, they're easier. When I say the price point, it's like, hey, this is a less price point to buy a meal than it is to replace windows. It
Mhm,
is to
mhm.
replace certain things. And so you can get it off of a month, but then what happens is like a bathtub. Do you, like once you unplug it, do you wait till it's down? You know what I mean? Like drained. That's probably the worst thing ever to describe. But I heard it and I was like, that sounds great. Like, but to start refilling the bathtub, like, you're trying to get warm water in, and it's like, okay, so do you wait till it's completely empty? No, it's halfway full, and then you keep on adding it in, where you
Mhm.
want to constantly have it where you're having some kind of touch point with it. And you'll see it where I've had people where they're like, oh, it's not working. And it's like, okay, and then a month later, after doing research, can we get back in? And it's like, yeah, you'll see how it just kind of drops. It's that constant one where we're people, we like bright and shiny things. That's why we tell people to update their ad monthly, or quarterly, do something because they get tired of it. Or, hey, if you have a lot of services, do stuff where people don't know about, like I was meeting with the hotel today. And it's like, okay, so you do this, like you do breakfast, that's fine, but you don't also offer like when the in-laws are coming in, for Christmas and the holidays,
Mm.
like right here, like, hey, we have the extra space, we're right up the street, and like if you're so catering, like we can call an Uber, or something like that, where it's like, oh, that just solved a problem. Like
Mhm.
I am silly. And since I was such sheltered in, well, I was property management, but it was like title life. I'm like, when I got into this, I'm like, so HVAC and duct cleaning is the same. Like, no, it's not. And again, I love to learn about different businesses, but it is where there are people like me, I promise, that don't understand, like I'm single independent, like woman, like single mom and everything, where I'm like like I'm doing the checklist. That's what I always have to do. But I didn't know you had to do certain things,
Right.
like where it's like, but I didn't know this. And so there are certain people that like to get it done and taken care of. And those are people that also get taken advantage, like, oh, the electrician can do this, all of the above, where it's like, no, you need a professional for a certain thing. And I think that's what I try to tell my people is give a little bit to get people's mind thinking and understanding. That's why they would call an electrician. That's why
Mm.
they would call certain people, because sometimes we don't know and we need someone to tell us.
Yeah. So think like your potential customer or client and what do they need? What do they want?
Oh, I love my gutter guy. He's like,
Yes.
box mitters. And I was like, what's a box mitter? Like, and he's like, well, everybody knows what box mitter is. And I'm like, no, I don't. If I have to Google it, I'm done. And I think I was doing another ad for somebody where it's like, I was like, well, I don't understand this word. It's a bunch of abbreviations. And they're like, well, it's the most Googled word. And I'm like, huh, I wonder why, because nobody knows what it means.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it is where it's not that we're like, it's sometimes you just have to, the KISS method, keep it simple and to the point and just
Mhm.
brighten horizons for it. So that's, yeah, a little bit of it.
I like that. So if you guys want to learn more, please reach out to Megan. She's awesome and a ball of energy and just fun to be around. So if you don't like fun, don't bother.
I don't do. We can hang out doing laundry, I guess. I mean,
Great. But we want to make sure it's a good fit so that you have longevity with your relationships
yes,
with your
yes. So
clients. So,
if I could do laundry by myself, I don't want to hang out.
yeah. Right. And they might shrink your clothing, so that would be bad.
Yeah, they might not, leave it crumpled up or something. They may not want to watch Housewives.
Oh my gosh, this has been fun. So let's go ahead and wrap up and just let the audience know how can they get in touch with you. Just one way. We'll post all of them in the episode description, but right now, just one.
CentennialCityLifestyle.com. Google me. I'm like the one that shows up, Centennial Magazine, and it'll pop up. So, and that's all SEO by Megan.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're the only magazine that touches Centennial, so.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much. And I hope the audience is entertained and they're laughing with us. So, Megan, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week.
You too.
And I hope that you have some dreams come true this week.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm manifesting it.
Yes, girl. All right.
Yes.
Until
All
next
right.
time, you guys, we will see you soon.
Thank you for tuning in to the Wealthy Mind podcast. Please be sure to download the Wealthy Mind app today and make sure to support your local Dress for Success.